I'm Turk Strawman at Tharanki Ramacharaka. Thank you for selecting this video on the pineal gland of your brain in connection with medical marijuana and your personal evolvement. Before I continue, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Activate the notification bell feature if you haven't. Share the joy of the channel, at least by giving this video a thumb up, so that others can see that. And comment courteously below. Now, I've already addressed brain damage. As I recall, that specifically had to do with the hippocampus area of the brain. I've also addressed short-term memory loss in connection with marijuana use. It is my assumption that the short-term memory loss might have to do with damage to the hippocampus. It might. Probably does. I'm not an expert on anatomy and physiology of the brain, nor on the endocrine system. Okay. Now, I've also talked about, in this playlist, new insights and how to get the most out of them. New insights, as described in that prior video, might, my assumption here again, have to do with heightened activity of your pineal gland, which is known to occur when using psychoactive drugs, substances, DMT, peyote, psilocybin, amanita mushrooms, marijuana, to whatever extent that it does occur with marijuana. It does. Okay. So while we may have a decrease of short-term memory loss, we have an increase of new insights, etc. Deeper meaningfulness of affairs. And what affairs are we talking about in large here? Here on this channel? Those that have to do with self-mastery, personal involvement, mental discipline, movement toward true selfhood, etc. Okay? And that might just have to do with the pineal gland. Because the pineal gland has to do with things like that. You know, new insights, Satori experiences, mystical experiences. Now, how much the pineal gland really opens us up to other dimensions and all of that, I don't know. But at least the experience is there. And then typically, when the effects of the substance, like marijuana, has worn off, then those insights tend to go away. But we don't want them to do that. If they are insights that are in your own best interest in these directions that I have set. So I gave you something to do to circumvent short-term memory loss. Put things into long-term memory instead. Long-term memory is not affected in the way, or like short-term memory is. Okay, negatively. It's not. Short-term memory events, things that would normally go into short-term memory, you can intentionally put into long-term memory and be fine. I've talked about how to get the best out of new insights. Now, while doing that, with new insights, what I have suggested in the prior video about that, you can do another thing, and I think you should do another thing at that time. All right? Talk to your pineal gland. Talk to it. You can talk to anything and everything. And depending on your intentions, depending on your will, depending on your desire, depending on your emotionality at the time you're doing it, things will hear you. Things will respond. Plants do. Water does. Your organs do. Well, some things are easier to get to respond than others. Some things are easier to get to cooperate than others. I hear that the organ, your bodily, your physical organ, the liver, is rather stubborn. It takes quite a bit of effort to get it to wake up and listen to you. And same with the solar plexus. It can take a bit of work. But when you can do that, when you accomplish it, the results can be astounding. Okay. And by the way, about the solar plexus, I'm uncertain. I'll have to look here. I might have already posted a whole series of videos on that very thing about the solar plexus. Maybe I didn't yet. If I didn't, then I will get to it. I promise. And the solar plexus has a lot to do with your autonomic functions. All your organs that act and do their thing involuntarily on your part, just automatically, autonomically. All right. Your pineal gland, though, address it directly, especially while it's in a more receptive state. It is known that the pineal gland is highly receptive to psychoactive substances, DMT, LSD, peyote, psilocybin and amanita mushrooms, marijuana. To whatever extent marijuana has psychoactive effects, and it does. That's what we're talking about here. And one way in which marijuana accomplishes that is by way of the pineal gland, I'm pretty sure. Because the pineal gland has to do with such things as well. All right. Talk to it. Right then. Talk to it. It's in a more active state than usual at that time. Talk to it and tell it what you want out of it. Don't tell it how to do its job. Don't tell it how to do its job. It knows what its job is and it knows how to do it. Right? But tell it that you want it to act more like this all the time. But be careful what you ask for. Put some parameters on it. Tell it you want it to be more active. Be more active all the time. And even further active when you smoke marijuana. Even more than it is. Just more than it usually is all the time. All right? And to stay more open. Stay more active when you're not high. Maintain the new insights. Help you maintain them. Help you put them into memory. Send them over to memory while they're happening. But only what's in your own best interest. You're more receptive, more open, more generative of such affairs that are in your own best interest towards self-mastery, and so forth. And not let in or open to such results that aren't in your own best interest. That may be coming from other minds, the astral atmosphere, entities, etc., that are not operating in your own best interest. You can also provide some protection along these lines by envisioning plus signs, which represent your power of will, surrounding you. Not a white light or any other such thing that would be visible by astral vision. Because that's just like a beacon attracting trouble, regardless of what you may have heard otherwise. Plus signs that are clear, invisible, transparent, to represent the positive polarity of your will over others. Others' will. Not just people. protective layer. And put your love and your purpose for these plus signs into them. Project that into them. They're extensions of your own desire and will. When you put love into them, because they are your friends, instruct them that the love is to get all the plus signs, all the little component pieces of your protective will to orient themselves in the same direction. This will give them a crystalline nature, a more firm nature, more pure structure. And they will operate more fully this way. Okay, so again, talk to your pineal gland. Tell it which direction to go with what it does. You know, things in your own best interest. Things that will push you further toward your evolvement, your constructive evolvement. And at the same time, let it know that you're going to give it something, you know, that you're going to help it along to do this by doing a different thing with the will, the plus signs. Tell the plus signs to get lined up in a crystalline manner. And put your love into them. And also do this at the same time that you're doing the thing that I have mentioned previously here about new insights. Okay? This should help things along further. Again, we're after getting the best out of your medical marijuana towards your personal evolvement. All right. So if you like the video, give it a thumb up. Give it one no matter what. It'll help to share the joy of the channel with others, especially, you know, the purpose of this video with others. Subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell feature, and comment courteously below. I'm Turk Starman once again. And this is the Rhyme Cue. I'm Thank you and be well.